Today we start with limitations of repertory. As there are uses of repertory, each thing is having plus side as well as minus side. So as there are uses, there are limitations also related to repertory. So which are the limitations of repertory? We discuss one by one. Repertory is basically an index, never suggests a final choice. So basically it is index of symptoms, and after proper repertorization, as we discussed earlier, we cannot reach towards the simillimum, exact simillimum, but after proper repertorization from so many remedies, from there may be 70, 80 or more than that remedies are indicated, or for many rubrics from that totality of the case, but from that most similar remedies or most remedies which cover all rubrics, we get such remedies, such 7 to 8 remedies after repertorization. So after repertorization we get a similar group of remedies, and from that we can find out the final remedy which exactly matches with the symptoms of the patient from that group of remedy. So it is said that repertory is basically an index of symptoms. It never suggests a final choice. Many times, many physician they blames the repertory when he fails in selecting the right remedy even after repertorization. So if there is failure, then by many physicians it is told that, or they blame to the repertory, that repertory is useless tool and so on. It should be always remembered that the repertory is like a tool, and much success depends on the skills of the practitioner using it. So for using, for when we are using any type of tool, then we should have skill, and without skill no tool is helpful. In the same way, if the physician he doesn't have skill how to use the repertory, what is the uh, background of that repertory, how the repertory is constructed, how the what is the idea behind that repertory. So the physician, till he don't have the proper knowledge of that repertory, he don't have the proper skill of repertorization, then till that time, till he doesn't have the proper knowledge, his tool is helpless. So in order to use it effectively, one should be aware of its limitations and adaptability, which are, because not only one or two repertories having uh, scope as well as limitations, but every repertory has its scope, every repertory has its limitations. For example, if we take any repertory, it has its own scope, its own special features as well as its own limitations. So we should always know the scope and limitations of each and every repertory, then only we can able to use that repertory properly. Different repertories have different philosophy and construction. So all of you know that different repertories, or the repertories written by different authors, are based on their own philosophy as well as they follow their own plan of construction. Whoever is the author of that repertory, according to his concepts According to his philosophy, he follow his own plan of construction. So each repertory is different from the other repertory. The construction, the philosophical background, it is different in each repertory. So every homeopath should be thorough with all types of repertories in order to get the best of them. When we go through all the repertories, when we studied properly all the repertories, then and then only we can able to choose the proper repertory for the proper case. Because as I told in the previous lectures that according to case, our selection of repertory, it depends according to the symptoms whatever we get in the case. So till we cannot able to choose, we cannot able to select the proper repertory for any particular case, till we don't have the proper knowledge about repertories, all repertories. So it is said that we should have, or every homeopath should be thorough with all types of repertories in order to get the best out of them. Repertory cannot feed anyone until he has the knowledge of proper case taking. If he doesn't have proper knowledge of case taking, then he cannot able to find out, or he cannot able to construct proper totality. Until he cannot construct proper totality, he cannot get the idea of that case, and he cannot able to choose the proper repertory for repertorization, and then his result may fail. So it is all depend on first proper case taking. So till the physician should not have the proper knowledge of case taking, the repertory, it is helpless. Then the third point, that new additions to materia medica cannot be accommodated in repertory. As we all know that our materia medica is ever enlarging, so no repertory is complete one, because every day many medicines get proved, many medicines they get added in the repertory, and so these medicines newly added in our materia medica, they are not get added in the repertory. So this is the most important limitation of the repertory, that new additions to the materia medica, new remedies which are added to the materia medica cannot be accommodated in repertory. We cannot find those remedies, we cannot find those remedies in the repertories which are newly proved, which are newly added in our materia medica. Many rubrics are not presented well. Many rubrics, they are not represented well, so they cannot guide the physician properly in the selection of simillimum. Many times the rubrics, they are incomplete. Many times similar meaning rubrics, they are found at different places. Many times rubrics are misplaced in the repertory. So these are all lacunas, these are all limitations. So in short, the rubrics, they are not represented well. So we cannot, or the physician, he cannot select the proper simillimum. No guidance about potency, dose and repetition. In the repertory, We cannot, in the repertory, it cannot give the guidance regarding the potency, doses, repetition schedule. In no repertory it was not given how, which potency we should select for which case, how much doses we should advise to the patient when we repeat the dose. So a physician who handles a repertory must be thorough in all these and other aspects. Means, though we are going to select proper repertory, we are construct the proper totality, then we select or we find out the repertorial totality, we reach towards group of simillimum, we find out the exact simillimum. But if we don't have the knowledge of how much potency we should select, how much doses should be repeated, then how many times it should be, the repetition should be. So if we don't have the knowledge about all these things, we cannot get the proper result. We cannot able to give the proper cure to the patient. So the cure is incomplete. So we should have all these knowledge about the potency, dose and repetition, because no guidance is given about these things in the repertory. Then nosodes and sarcodes not represented well. As the nosodes and sarcodes, especially, they are using in the clinics, they are useful in the clinics, but not represented well in the repertory. In many repertories, we cannot found the nosodes and sarcodes under many rubrics. If a physician makes mistakes in interpretation and just counting the symptoms and marks, he will fail. So our interpretation should be very accurate, it should be very perfect. Symptom or rubric is an interpretation of physician. If physician ignores the person and just count down the symptom, if we cannot interpret the symptoms properly, we cannot judge the symptoms which are more important, which are less important in this case, which are common, which are uncommon, then till we cannot separate or interpret it in such way, after proper evaluation we can make the proper totality, then only we are going to get the proper result. And not only by just counting the symptoms and marks, we get the proper simillimum. We get many symptoms, but out of those symptoms, if we have many symptoms, but if they are all common symptoms, they are common symptoms related to disease as well as common physical generals, then they are not helpful. So we have to find out the proper symptoms from the patient, as well as we should not make mistake in interpretation, then only we get the proper result in the case, otherwise the physician may fail. Then use of repertory cannot be independent of knowledge of materia medica, organon or clinical subjects. As we all know that repertory, it is A good instrument to find out the exact similimum, and all our these are the three pillars of our homeopathy, that is repertory, materia medica and organon of medicine. So they are interdependent on each other. Repertory, we can never use the repertory without the knowledge of materia medica as well as organon. So we should have thorough knowledge about the materia medica, thorough knowledge about the organon of medicine, about the philosophy. Then only we can able to use the repertory properly. So in our repertory part, in our repertory subject also, almost 30-40% or maybe 50%, it is nothing but the organon of medicine and philosophical part only. So because without the knowledge of materia medica and organon of medicine, the use of repertory is useless, or we cannot able to use the repertory properly. So in this way, the repertory is very much important, but the knowledge of materia medica as well as organon is more important, and to use the repertory. Then after taking the case, the physician should have knowledge about the evaluation of symptom, then selection of eliminating symptom. So when he have the proper knowledge of evaluation, analysis, evaluation, because analysis and evaluation, these are also depend on the philosophy of which repertory we are going to use. So the physician should have proper knowledge of evaluation of symptoms, selection of eliminating symptom. Otherwise, we cannot get the proper result after repertorization, because it is a tool. Repertory is a tool, and it never behave like Alibaba's door or Alibaba's wonderful lamp, or function like a push button apparatus from where anything needed which comes out by simply pressing the button. As with the help of computer repertories, we get the result by pressing single button, but in computer repertories also we should have to evaluate the symptoms properly. We should have to make the proper totality of the symptoms, and then only with the single click button we get the result. Otherwise, if there are mistakes in evaluation of symptoms, if there are mistakes in forming the totality, then definitely the result, whatever we get after repertorization, it definitely goes in the wrong way. The patient cannot relieve with your selected similimum. So the repertorization, which require a very intelligent approach followed by laborious work. So to use the repertory, it should require some hard work. It should require intelligent approach. Then only we can use the repertory properly. And it is said that the repertory which suggests and the materia medica decides the medicine. Because why it is said that the repertory suggests and materia medica decides? Yes, anyone? Anyone Why it is said that the repertory suggests and materia medica decides the result? Because after repertorization we get the similar group of remedies. We get the group of remedies. We get 5, 6, 7 medicines after repertorization. But for the final selection of similimum, we have always depend on the materia medica. We have always matched the symptom similarity with the drug similarity. Yes, Harshada? So in this way, it is said that repertory suggests the at materia medica decides. So it is also asked why it is said that repertory suggests and materia medica decides, because after repertorization we cannot get the exact similimum, but we get the group of similar medicines. So to find out the exact similimum, we again depend on our materia medica. With the help of materia medica, by referring or by using other mental general, physical general particulars, we exactly match the medicinal symptoms with the patient symptoms. We match the totality of the patient with the totality of the medicine and find out the exact similimum from the with the help of materia medica. So it is said that repertory to suggest and materia medica to decide. Okay.